Okay, I'm on Windows 10 and we're going to install Unity Hub and our first version of Unity. So I'm going to open Google Chrome or a web browser. I'm going to type in download Unity and search right here on download Unity. What I'm going to do is I'm going to download Unity Hub. So what that is one hub, as you would, that manages all your separate installs, so separate versions of Unity and separate projects and tutorials. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to start downloading. It's only 50 megs. I'm going to pause it till it's done. All right, it just finished. I can just click right here to open it. I want to allow it to make some changes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and agree. I think Program Files is a great folder to install it in. It's going to install, and again, this is going to be your hub. So you haven't yet actually installed Unity. You've just installed the hub that manages your different versions of Unity, because Unity is constantly releasing new versions. I want to allow it access through my firewall to the internet. I will manage licenses later. Let's just dismiss that for now. I will do that later. So we're going to log in through our Google School account. And then I have an education license for you that you can add. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back from preferences. And here's where you manage installs. So projects is where you make a new project. Right now, though, if I click on installs, we have no Unity versions yet. So what I want to do is click add here and install at least one version of Unity. Now right now when I'm recording this in September 1st, 2020, we're just starting the first version of Unity 2020. In each year, there's about 1 to 4 versions. You can see that this one is on the 2019.4, so it's the fourth major release of 2019. And then after that second dot, that says what final version it is. So this is version 9. The LTS stands for long-term support. So I think you would be best off using this one, 2019.4, and the latest version. 2019 had a lot of huge, great new features. So going back to 2018, if you already have a game in 2018, let's just keep it there and stick with that. But I would install 2019.4 and whatever version is after the F there. And we're going to have long-term support, so all the videos will work. Whereas this is a pretty early release. They're only on the 4th version of 2019.1. There's probably still glitches, people on the forums fixing that. We don't really want to be in there. So I'm going to install this one. I'm going to click next. Now it gives you a lot of options. I personally don't use Visual Studio Community, but if you do, I would absolutely install that. That requires that you sign in with a Microsoft account, which I'm assuming many of you have. However, I like using Visual Studio Code. It's more free open source. You don't need to sign in. It's a smaller install. It's not constantly logging and tracking your data through there. So I like that. Now, if you're going to build for Android or iOS, absolutely use those. I would at least include WebGL because our first projects are going to be pretty small. And I like putting them up on itch.io so we can play each other's games. And then make sure you have documentation. Okay. Any other platform you want to build to, so Android phone, iOS phone, if you want to build for a standalone game that runs on Linux, Mac, Windows, etc., you can absolutely do that. Oh, Magic Leap, that's rad. My kids have the little leapfrog things. I wonder if that's for that. That's new. Anyways, so WebGL and documentation is all I'm selecting. I don't want Visual Studio Community. I click done. I go, yep, you have permission. Now for Unity installs, it'll show up as 1. There's a loading bar saying it's in progress. One other thing I want to show you, so I'm going to leave that going in the background, is when you go to learn, there's a lot of different tutorials and projects you can go through. So for tutorials like Cinemachine, which is absolutely fantastic, it's a camera management system that lets you really well, makes like virtual cameras that can hold your camera, so you can have like 20 virtual cameras and it kind of like a cameraman, but you can instantly teleport the camera from one camera to another. You can put filters on it like Instagram, so that's cool. Just beginning Unity interface, beginning scripting, lighting and rendering. So lots of interesting tutorials and they really walk you through. And then some other mini projects. So we're going to use this platform micro game. It's already downloaded on mine from when I had this before. So I would download and open this. We're going to use this for a little get used to the tile map system. And then we're going to do some level design in there. So I would download that project. And then feel free to download any other tutorials that you want. And then we're going to make a new project as soon as our install is done. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video till that's done. All right, so that took about 5-10 minutes on my end because I'm not on the world's fastest computer here. But now I have it installed. The icons down here tell me what add-on modules I put on. So I put on just the WebGL build support, so I can build for HTML pages to run online. There's this community tab, which I've honestly never used. There's the learning tab with all the tutorials. And now we're going to go to the projects tab and just create our first project. So I can add a project that already exists on my machine as like a folder, or I can create a new project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new project. I can select which version. Now I only have one, so I could just click, instead of the drop down, the new button. Again, in here, I can check which, oh, it doesn't give me an option anymore in here. There used to be a drop down. So yeah, right here, make sure you select which one you want. And then it pops up a menu. I'm going to make our first game in 2D, and I'm going to do Mr. D's 2D Wonder D Game D. I don't know. There was a lot of D's there. Okay. And then you can choose where. So, yeah, my new projects on the desktop sounds like a great place to put it. We can do 2D, 3D. There's all these other things we'll play with later in the year, different render pipelines. And I'm just going to click create. Oh, and apparently I need a license for that. That's good to know. That's changed since last time. So let's go up here, and what I'm going to do is sign in before I create my first project. So, let's sign in here. You can sign in with Google, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just pause while I sign in. Okay, so I've gone ahead and signed in. I've signed in with my account. I use two-step authentication, so I had to go get my phone. I strongly recommend that for security. So now I have all my cloud projects showing up that are tied to my account. However, I don't yet have a license. So I signed in with Google, which is great. But now if I go here and I go, I want to make a 2D project, it says you don't have a license. So you just need to say in what way you're using Unity. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to say manage license. I want to activate a new license. I'm going to go to Unity Personal because we don't use this in a professional capacity, or your organization earns less than this in gross revenue, right? We're not profiting over $100,000 from our games right now, so we can use this for free. Later in the year, Unity is going to give us educational license, so then we can use Unity Plus or Pro. But sadly, our license from last year expired and I haven't gotten the new license yet. So I'm just waiting on that to put in. For now, let's just put in that we're using Unity Personal because we're not using it in a profitable professional job way yet, or we make less than 100,000. So I'm going to click OK. It's syncing online. There we go. All right, so now I can go back. We've got our successful license there. Oh, it's expiring soon. That's fun. All right, and then now I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to go to 2D. I'm going to say first project, woohoo. Okay, no exclamation point in the name. I'm going to click OK, and it starts loading. Okay, so I'm going to minimize this. You'll see Unity start to come up here, and I'm going to pause it. All right, you guys, so that opened up. We got it working. We're using the personal version there until we get our education licenses sent from Unity. So that's up and running. The next video, I'll show you how to close your software, open an old project, save a file, share it with a friend, or save a project and share it with a friend. Hope you enjoyed that.